I'm Jennifer Novak. As a lawyer, and especially as an environmental lawyer, I'm used to the lawyer jokes and people making comments like, oh, I hope I never see you again. You know what? I get it. No one wants to discover an environmental problem. And if a lawyer needs to be involved, you're going to assume that things are very bad. So I was surprised one day when I met someone who owns a construction company. He introduced himself, I introduced myself, and then I got ready for whatever jokey comment was coming. But instead, he looked down and he started shaking his head. And when he looked back up, he said, I wish I had met you a year ago. Okay, now that was a comment I did not expect. What happened was that they were working at a site and someone knew someone who could haul away the leftover soil from their grading. The price that was quoted was a great price, and the hauler came recommended. So this gentleman had agreed. Now that hauler had some sort of deal with someone else who had agreed to let him dump the soil on his property. And that's what happened for this construction company. That hauler also picked up soil from other sites and took it to the same place. As it turns out, someone's site was contaminated, but you couldn't tell whose because no one tested the soil from any of these sites before it was hauled away. All of the soil was intermingled at this dump site. You couldn't tell who had allowed the illegal dumping of hazardous material and who just made a very bad hire. What it meant for this particular company was that they couldn't prove that they didn't mishandle hazardous material and allow it to be illegally transported and allow it to be illegally dumped and put the health and safety of their workers at risk as well. To say that they ended up paying well more in fines and remediation costs than they saved by hiring this hauler is an understatement. Now, I appreciated hearing this story because it's a good reminder that a lot of environmental problems don't happen because someone woke up one morning and decided to pollute. Many of my clients find themselves on the wrong end of a lawsuit or a government enforcement action because they didn't anticipate the problem and plan for it. We have clients who are in the process of redeveloping properties where there's a risk of contamination, and they understand that it's ultimately a cost savings to bring in an environmental lawyer into that process early to help evaluate the risks and make recommendations. If you or someone you know could benefit from some environmental law advice, we'd love to hear about your project and to see if we can help you get it done. Give us a call.